Driver's Edge, complete tire and auto service. My local store, select a location, close. Find a location near you, request a quote. Request a quote. Request a quote. Book appointment. Home blog. Preventive maintenance. 10 possible reasons your car jerks while accelerating. 10 possible reasons your car jerks while accelerating. If you notice that your car jerks while you are accelerating, this is an issue that you shouldn't ignore. A jerking car is often a sign that your car will develop other problems if you don't address this issue. 1. Dirty fuel injectors. 2. Blockages. 3. Worn out spark plugs. 4. Dirty air filters. 5. Damaged cylinders. 6. Blocked catalytic converters. 7. Damaged gas lines. 8. Damaged acceleration cables. 9. Defective carburetors. 10. Moisture on the distributor cap. So let's go back and check out each item one by one. 1. Dirty fuel injectors. Dirty fuel injectors are among the most common reasons for why an accelerator becomes jerky. The dirty injector leads to your car losing power when you attempt to accelerate while at a stop and when you try to drive at a consistent speed. This is the result of an engine misfire. The engine misfire. 2. Blockages. There might be a blockage that is preventing your car blockages. There might be a blockage that is preventing your car from receiving the fuel it needs to accelerate. Air mixes with fuel to create a spray that powers your engine. If anything interrupts this, your car might struggle to accelerate. Blockages. 3. Worn out spark plugs. Your spark plugs might be worn out and unable to properly ignite the fuel in the piston fast enough. This can lead to your car not accelerating as quickly. Fortunately, spark plugs are not expensive to repair and replace. 4. Dirty air filters. The air filter plays an important role in keeping pollutants away from your engine. However, with time, these pollutants can build up and cause your car to not accelerate properly. You can simply remove and wipe off the air filters before putting them back in place or install new air filters. 5. Damaged cylinders. If your engine cylinders are damaged, this will affect the ability of your engine to work properly and will lead to an engine misfire. You will want to notify a mechanic of this issue so that the cylinders can be repaired or replaced. Otherwise, you can quickly ruin your engine. 6. Blocked catalytic converters. Your catalytic converter might be suffering from a blockage. The air-fuel mixture passing through your catalytic converter can become too rich, and this can lead to a blockage. This often leads to a car jerking when the motorist presses the gas. You may be able to clear it out with a good catalytic converter cleaner. Otherwise, you will need help from a mechanic. Catalytic converter cleaner. 7. Damaged gas lines. Gas flows throughout your engine via gas lines. However, if there is something wrong with the gas line, this can cause your car to experience a loss of pressure, which can cause the car to jerk forward. In extreme cases, a malfunctioning fuel line might even cause your engine to catch on fire. Check the fuel line to make sure it doesn't have any holes. 8. Damaged acceleration cables. The acceleration cable might be damaged. This cable is the link between your gas cable and the engine throttle plate. Pressing the gas pedal causes the cable to pull the throttle open, allowing your car to accelerate. Damaged acceleration cables. 9. Defective carburetors. A carburetor is responsible for controlling how much fuel and air are mixed together before it enters the engine. When the carburetor is damaged, this will not only cause your car to jerk when accelerating, but will also lead to poor performance in general. 10. Moisture on the distributor cap. If it's snowy outside, you might have a jerky acceleration due to moisture accumulating on the distributor cap. This typically occurs during the winter when you park your car outside. This can be avoided by parking your car in a warmer spot. When your car isn't operating as it should, you will want to visit an automotive service shop that can get to the bottom of the issue, so you won't be forced to take your car off the road. A driver's edge will be able to help you regardless of whether you drive a foreign or domestic vehicle. So there are 10 reasons for a jerking car. If your car jerks forward, backward a lot when you accelerate, there are 10 reasons why the jerking motion occurs. 1. Like a damaged acceleration cable, a damaged carburetor, moisture around the distributor cap, cylinder has problem, piston cylinder, and what else? The air filter doesn't filter out the poor particles, dust from outside, and the fuel line, gas fuel line has some problem like a porous, some leakage, so that fuel is not supplied enough to the piston. Fuel injector has problem. It does not inject fuel much into the cylinder. The spark plug is contaminated. A lot of dust, black soot gathers around the tip or the minus cathode of the spark plug. Spark plugs are not expensive. Dirty fuel injectors, blockages, worn out spark plugs, dirty air filters, damaged cylinders, blocked catalytic converters. What is a catalytic converter? The air-fuel mixture passing through your catalytic converter can become too rich, and this can lead to a blockage. This often leads to a car jerking when the motorist presses the gas. You may be able to clear it out with a good catalytic converter cleaner. Otherwise, you will need help from a mechanic. Damaged gas lines, damaged acceleration cables, defective carburetors, moisture on the distributor cap. Let's go back and check out the word carburetors. I learned that the pronunciation is carburetors, but I can be wrong. So carburetors. Carburetor.
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 Carburetor. Carburetor.
Carburetor.
Carburetor.
Carburetor.
Carburetor. Carburetor. Carburetor.
Damn, it's not carburetor. Carburetor.
Carburetor.
My teacher in my middle school was wrong. Carburetor.
Carburetor.
Carburetor. Carburetor. Carburetor. Okay, so let's go back and check out the basic diagram of the engine. Carburetor, fuel injector, air filter, go. Image. Basic carburetor, air, fuel, fuel injector, fuel, cross section, solenoid, fuel filter, valve spring, plunger, atomized fuel, spray tip, atomized fuel. So fuel gets into the fuel filter, solenoid, valve spring, plunger, atomized fuel, solenoid components, fuel injector assembly, cross section, okay, choke valve, venturi, float valve, fuel supply valve, float arm. Interesting. Basic carburetor cross section, air cleaner, choke valve, fuel, float valve, fuel supply valve, venturi, float chamber, float, jet, fuel discharge nozzle, throttle valve, choke valve, throttle valve, choke valve, throttle valve. Okay, I got it. Now next, what is next? Nothing. Go back. Visit. Fuel rail, O-ring, filter, electrical connector, electric coil, magnet, spring, O-ring, valve, pintle cap, fuel injector, intake manifold, air filter, air, choke valve, carburetor, choke valve, gas and air mixture, venturi, throttle valve, float chamber, float, yes. Output of both devices is the same, but the way in which it came is different. Following are the differences between carburetor and fuel injector. Okay, I'll check it out later. So they do the same thing, but they are different. Fuel system components and working principles. Throttle body, carburetor, fuel pipe, solenoid, fuel pressure regulator, fuel inlet, fuel injector nozzle, fuel return, throttle plate, cover, air filter, air cleaner, crankcase breather element, vacuum motor, carburetor, Schrader, fuel crossover, fuel pressure regulator, fuel rail and injectors, fuel injector, fuel injection, fuel tank, in-tank fuel filter, in-tank fuel pump, fuel level gauge sender, float, fuel return line, inline fuel filter, fuel feed line, filter pipe, fuel cap. Okay, that's it. So you gotta have your car maintained earlier before the problem gets worse. My car is jerking a lot when I accelerate for the past 2 weeks. So today I took my car to the car repair center and it is outside at the yard until Friday. That's like 4 more days there. I expect the bill will be about 1 million won or $900 US dollars, but I think it's worth it. My car fuel efficiency is way low, a lot of jerking motions and bad sounds. I feel also the engine warning light is turned on, so I fear for my life, so I need to take care of it. My vacation ended yesterday, so I could not take my car to the repair center because I needed my car to move around. In fact, I climbed the mountain with my car, albeit at a slow speed, but no problem. So I think my car is very strong, sturdy, but it probably has some problem with the fuel system, injector, carburetor, air filter, throttle valve, choke valve, some problem with the gas line, or moisture at a distributor cap, because I parked my car outside almost for the past 5 years. I feel guilty. I really thankful for my car for sticking with me for the last almost 4 or 5 years. I really trust you, my car. Thanks and have a good night.